Thank you. This is Radio Tatras International from the heart of Europe to the world. Time fast approaching 1300 CET. That's 12 in the UK. And it's time for Postcard from Poprad.
Hello, this is Peter Dixon. You know, voiceover man. The voice of The X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, Live at the Apollo, All-Star Fortunes, Mr. and Mrs., and a ton of other top TV teletainment. You're to T.
Thank you, Peter. What he done as always. It's just, it annoys me. He's got such a great voice. And I'll tell you something quickly before we start. Steve Mann has been beaten to the post. He wasn't the first one here today. It was Paul Turk who was the first one here today. Good heavens above. Hello. No, Dave.
He's not there.
He's not there?
No.
He's absent. He's AWOL.
He's AWOL?
Mm.
I'll have to get my phone. Give him a slap.
He must have a letter from his mother.
Hang on, he should be there. Hang on, let me have a look.
I'll just check.
Just check.
No, here.
He's not. No, he's not. He's not there, is he? No.
Dear Mr. Wilshire, Dave can't come to school today. He has chronic diarrhea.
Right. Do you know what, Rach? I didn't need to know that.
Well,
Too
I
much
don't know. It's
information.
just, every parent spells it incorrectly.
Right, we'll get on with some quick hellos first, as always. Just said hello to Paul. Hello to Milk and Cookies. Always there. Assis is there, Assis Sude. And Malika. That's nice. Like that. Maliga. Very nice indeed. And who else have we got? We got Steve. We mentioned Steve already. And I think Trina's in the house. Yes, she is. Trina's in the house. Marcus is there. Says, hello, everyone. Hope you're all keeping well and safe. Give us a wave, Eric. Well, I'll have to change the camera. Hold on a minute. Oh, so much to do here. Scene 2. There you go. Is that better? Give you a little wave there. There we are. Giving him a little wave. Ian McGregor says he's present and correct. Ian Gillen says afternoon all. And typically, our US correspondent Axel says, what's up, RTI? Axel in the house. Good. You have to say it. Mitchell's there as well. And saying hi to everybody. Absolutely. We have, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a poorly person today.
We do.
It's Henry.
Oh,
Henry is.
poor me.
He's been in agony for a very long time.
I have, and also I just want to point out, I'm sniffling, so I've also got quite a bad cold. So, you know, this has been the worst post-New Year I've had since I was 7. And
Although that tooth thing has been going on for a while.
It has, Rach. And I just want to say what's going on here, and Rach has got a much better story than I, but anyway, much more dramatic. I did go to the dentist today, which I really fear doing. Anyway, it turns out that there's a civil war going on in my mouth. My wisdom tooth is at war with a...
Contradiction in terms, one sentence, wisdom tooth.
It's an interesting term, isn't it?
Yes, it certainly is.
I was asking Caroline, my girlfriend, about this today, because I didn't know, I didn't relate it to anything. And she said it's called a wisdom tooth because it happens more with older people.
Meaning that we're wiser.
Apparently so.
Yes.
Well, some of us.
Yeah, not many. Just before we start, Keith says, hello, Uncle Eric. And Steve got a bad shock after the show on Wednesday. As soon as my PC is finished getting Windows ready, I'll be joining you. Only 45 minutes so far, says Dave. Oh, heck.
Get an apple.
Yeah. Oh, stop it. Hi to Maria, who's just joined us, and Enver. Trina says Trevor's here as well, but he's on his iPad. Is he?
Hey,
is he
Trevor.
sucking up to Rach? And
And it's working.
yes, exactly. I went to dinner. Marcus says, "Poor old Henry," and Keith says, "I once went to the dentist to have a wisdom tooth installed."
Oh, Uncle Keith, I drew.
Oh my word! Blimey! Mitchell's just commented, and I have to tell you, this is only going to be on Radio Tatras International News, the group thing, which is our group on Facebook, and there is an RTI tour because so many of you guys wanted to come out to Poprad, and lots of people were helping this to happen, but it couldn't happen because of COVID. So I agreed with Trevor. That's Trevor over in East Anglia. That's him with the Mustang. That I would do a virtual tour by videoing the office and the meeting room and the tech room, or as the girls call it, my mess room, and the studios, da-di-da-di-da. And when I came into the studio, I was taking a call, and I didn't realise it actually got round to doing that, whatever it does, when it renders it to Facebook size. But apparently it must be there because Mitchell says, I like the RTI tour. So if you're not a member, join. It's Radio Tatras International News, and there is a tour of RTI on that group. There we go. Mitchell says, me too, Henry. My wisdom tooth is screaming at me.
Go dentist.
Can I ask, Rach, we talked off air about your situation, which completely topples all our sad situations. Tell us about what happened with you.
Oh, my word. I've had trouble with my wisdom teeth since I was about 20, and that's usually when it starts to get a move on. But both of my wisdom teeth were impacted, and actually the roots had fused themselves to my jawbone, so I couldn't have them pulled out at the dentist regularly. I had to go to hospital and have them removed surgically, which was pretty interesting. But then the two molars, the two molars in front of those teeth at separate times abscessed, so I had to have those extracted after a very heavy, as you would understand, a very heavy dose of antibiotics. But one of them actually cracked when I was in Italy. So, and Uncle Eric knows the misery I was in Europe because I was so ill. And then a tooth cracked on me when I was in Italy. And I had to go to this. First of all, I was lucky to have Eric with me to talk this pharmacist through about how I was basically dying of pneumonia in the middle of his chemist and got some medicine. And then in Italy, I had to get Rob to talk to the chemist in very broken Italian because he doesn't remember very much about how my head was about to fall off because I cracked a tooth. But he gave me some marvellous medicine and it was wonderful. And then as soon as I got back to Australia, I had it ripped out.
Oh, God.
Oh, apparently Axel's 51 and got all of his teeth.
Well, that's good. I've only had a couple removed and it wasn't, by choice. But right at the back, not in the front, thank goodness. So I don't look like, one of those Trump protesters. But I really was quite in a bad way. But when I go to the dentist, now I've got a fear of dentists, always have had. And now when I go to the dentist, they give me the gas because I tell them I'm a biter and they just give it to me.
Before Henry does that, I'm going to see if this tops yours, because as an idiot, what was I then? 17, 18 years old. It was a very wet day, incredibly wet. And this bloke on a scooter overtook me. Now, that wasn't... Axel with the same. And that didn't go down very well. So I dropped it down again. Off I go again. And unfortunately, the road was rather slippy at a 90-degree bend. Which I didn't make. Now, the good thing is, the great thing was, the bike wobbled a bit, the throttle stopped, it stalled and stood up against a railing It just stood up there like it was, I'm going to park here. Unfortunately, my jaw hit the deck because we didn't have full face helmets in those days. So my jaw hits the deck. It's cracked at the bottom lower side, and the upper right side of my jaw is cracked. I go like that because I don't know what's going on, and all my teeth end up on the floor.
Odd.
Yes. So then I had to have all this surgery stuff. I then had them replaced in 1990 something. And when I was here, and bearing in mind, in England in mid-1990s, it cost £6,000 to have my pretend teeth replaced.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And you just could have got some of those vampire teeth from the costume shop, and it would have been
yes.
$1.
And then I was sitting in Aqua City one day, upstairs where you used to sit for your coffee, Rach.
Oh, such a good place.
I know.
Oh.
And it's I was meeting somebody, and I bit on a coffee biscuit, and the bloke just looked at me, and he was like, he went pale, and I thought, I looked down, and there's strawberry jam all over my shirt, and it was carrying on.
Was it your last tooth?
No, it was. I'd broken two of them in the middle.
Oh.
And biting on this really hard biscuit, and they just fractured and cut me and blah. So I end up then having to go to the dentist here, who takes everything out again. I am walking around for like 3 months looking like that bloke Jaws from James Bond.
Oh, yeah. Scary teeth guy.
Oh, and I was cutting my lips all the time, trying to learn how to talk in. And he eventually...
Yeah, but tell Henry what they do to you, and what they do to their tooth.
What, they drill your jaw?
Yeah, they drill and then they nail your tooth in there. Oh,
It's
tooth by tooth.
Yeah, and you have all these injections and things, and I pass out at the sight of a needle, and they rapidly put my head, lifted the chair up, so I'm like, my head is down, my legs are up, and as he pulls me back up, I happen to fall into the bosom of the nurse.
And that would have made you feel better.
And I've sort of...
Carry on, Luke.
And I've gone, sorry. Well, no, actually, I went, sorry, because I couldn't talk. And, yeah. But the good news is, and she was quite all right about it, she just stroked my face and said, it's okay, Eric. But the good news was, here in Slovakia, and this was about 5 years ago, it cost me €2,200 to have all my teeth redone, new carbon fibre inserts, blah, blah, blah. And not only that, the bloke said, I'm going to give you an extra injection because I want to give you your molar teeth back that you haven't had since the accident. And I'm going, oh my God, it's going to hurt, which it didn't. And the dental technician, because we have them both together, the dental surgery and the technician's place are both together. And he came out and measured it all up and blah, 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 blah. And he's got all these teeth sitting on top of some, I don't know what it was, looked like concrete. But anyway, he said, oh yeah, this will be great. But they had to wait 3 months for my mouth to settle after they'd put all the implants bits back in.
That's a big trauma. That's a massive trauma.
Could you imagine, if you try and do it now, you can't. But if you imagine moving your tongue back by, a couple of mil, because your teeth aren't there, and then trying to talk, it's ridiculous. You get
And you're a broadcaster.
Oh, it was hysterical. And then when you accidentally catch your tongue on your teeth, well, not the teeth, the stubs, of course it cuts your tongue wide open. And that's ouch as well.
Eric,
you're
making me sound pathetic with my little complaint.
No, you're not, mate. No.
Like dental pain, because it's nerves, it is the worst pain you can have, I reckon, because it's all on nerve endings, and it's the worst place. So when I was it was so funny, Uncle Eric. We were driving from Canberra to Adelaide, which is, well, you'll have to change the money for me, but it's about 1,200 kilometres.
Right.
Mm.
And because it's Australia, you get about halfway and you don't have any phone reception. So Henry was suffering, and I'm an old wisdom tooth veteran
Expert.
from way back. So I am madly texting him remedies because he couldn't see a dentist or a doctor. I'm madly texting him remedies and then step by step instructing him on what to do. It was the most brilliant example of how to communicate verbally with somebody while you're not in the same room and getting them to do a task. Because I felt like we were on Apollo 13 putting that carbon dioxide filter on made out of socks. And
I love the analogy.
I'm telling, and he's going, "What next? What next? What next?" And he said, "What if I swallow it?" And I was like, "What if you do? You do."
So come on, Henry. What happened?
Well, not a lot happened, actually.
Apart from the fact that I do know, dear listener, that he was being a bit of a wuss and wouldn't go to the dentist.
Well, this is true.
That's not. No, you weren't. You couldn't get a stupid
I couldn't.
appointment for life.
Yeah. Between Christmas and New Year, I tried to get hold of there's emergency dentists right down the road here in Bondi, and I called them up, and they advertise 24/7. So I call up, and this is not like, Christmas Day or New Year's Day. It was in the middle or maybe a little bit after. It was not a public holiday, and they said, "Sorry, no one's available." And I said, "But it says on your website 24/7. And this is not a public holiday." Anyway, I just want to talk about, the psychology of pain, because my dentist, my dentist is excellent, and I'm going to interview him for Bondi Tunes. Actually,
Oh,
I've only
we'll
met.
hit that on RTI, won't we?
We will indeed, and I've only just met him today, but he's just written a book. So the thing is, he talks about because.
Whoa! I've got to cut across you here. Hang on.
Yeah.
The bloke's just brought out a book.
Yes.
You're going to do an interview on your radio show with him.
Yes.
And what was the discount you got?
Nothing. But he didn't. But you see, I go into interview mode with people without even thinking when I'm at social gatherings. I just can't help myself. And I asked him about, how he deals with people who are in pain, and because that's difficult. Being a dentist must be a very difficult job. And he said, "Look, you talk to them, and half the pain is psychological." And I'm thinking, really? But anyway,
Not in my mouth.
Neither in mine. But he made a very good point, because he said I'd talk to clients on the phone, and just by talking to them, they felt better. So he said there is a psychological element to this pain, and they felt relieved if they couldn't get to him, or whatever. So that was really interesting. Anyway, he gave me some heavy meds, and that's about it at the moment.
And then Henry, at the end of all that, goes, "Oh, that was great. You want to be on my radio show?"
But you can't drink wine with strong meds.
No, absolutely. That's another interesting story. I went to.
Did you ask him about the rubbish story that if you get some brandy or whiskey and roll it round your mouth, it makes your teeth better?
No, I don't think he would have accepted that.
It's a wives' tale, I can tell you that.
But a lot of people said that to me, actually. Back in the 80s.
Don't you, Henry? You only get Sepicaine.
Well, that's true.
Yes, and thank you for that, Rachel, and that has come in so handy. Apparently, my girlfriend Caroline, she Googled this Metro, whatever it's called, this drug that I'm going to be on, and she Googled it, and if you take alcohol with this, people have been known to die.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? This is a really strong drug.
I mean,
It'll make the pill stop working, and you'll get pregnant. So don't do.
I'm way too old to have a baby.
You don't have the back for it.
But no, that is a serious point, Henry. That if you've got meds like that are incredibly strong, you shouldn't drink alcohol with them because it can be terminal. Yeah, it can be.
You know, I totally understand that, and I have no problem with that because I always stop drinking after Christmas and New Year's anyway. So it's the timing's perfect for me. So I don't mind.
So basically,
Second of January.
hold on a minute. So you're not paying for the wine anymore, and you're still spaced out.
Yeah, I got 3
Brilliant.
cases of wine for Christmas from my employers.
Oh gosh. Anyway, can we go back a little bit here? Because I've got loads of messages to do, and I haven't done them.
Yeah, do it.
Right. Steve reckons on the video that we put on Radio Tatras International News, the group for RTI, but you didn't show all of the thousands of staff. And then Mitchell says, is Mrs. W camera shy? To which I will answer both in one. Nobody wanted to be on it. Nobody. They're all going, no. And Steve reckons she's too pretty for the camera. I have to agree with you, or I'm dead. So anyway, I shoot one video, which actually was quite good. And Vieira says, you can't do that. Why? No, my hair doesn't look right. Oh, for goodness sake. So I have to do it again. Then she was acceptant of it. So that's why it's there, and that's why there's the only person on the video is just Vieira for a couple of minutes. Facebook is going bonkers. It's saying there's only 2 viewers. They should fix it. The viewership on Facebook is never accurate. Now it says it's 8. Mr. Zuckerberg must be listening. No, it's not 8. Mitchell says, I have a hairline crack caused, oh my word, by being run over by a police car in 1984.
What had you done? What were you running from?
Yeah. When I eat, it makes a cracking sound and can be quite embarrassing at times.
But it's a great story. Don't be embarrassed.
No, you could dine out on that for years, Mitchell. That'd be wonderful.
I was in pursuit of a man who robbed a bank, and the police had seen me trying to make a citizen's arrest, and it all went wrong, and it's like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Trevor says, Eric, yes, Trevor, did you have your brain refitted? No.
That's rude.
That is. I mean, listen, Trevor, I've got 10 toes now. What would be the point in having any more?
Yeah.
You see?
You just have to get bigger shoes.
Yes. Trina says, met my brother from school once and his mate started to insult me, so I punched him in the nose.
I've done that. It's a very good feeling.
Yeah, and after she punched him in the nose, his shirt turned red. I was about 10 at the time and he was 15. What a word! What a word! Girl, getting beaten up by a 10-year-old girl. What was it? Eric's House of Pain. This is true. We like a bit of pain. On the news last night, a professor said that if you drink 2 weeks before and after having the COVID injection, it weakens the effectiveness. Well, it would. That's logical. I mean, I don't know about that specifically because I haven't studied it fully, but that can happen. I went to the dentist once and he said, open wide. Then he added, your wallet.
Yeah, you're damn right about that.
Say something else. I'm really tired. I had a traumatic day today. Do you want to know what I did today?
Yes, please.
So I'm looking for a new day job because I can't sit in this apartment by myself weeks on end. It's just starting to do my head in. And I had to do that thing I hate doing. I know a lot of women love it, but I hate it. And that is go shopping for clothes that are appropriate to turn up at a job interview. Do
you know what? You're just like Martina.
Hate it.
Because I say to her sometimes, oh, do you want to take the day off? And she says, no. I thought, yeah, I'm only trying to be nice. But the truth is, sitting at home is boring.
It is, and I've done it for 2 months, and that's enough. But so I had to walk over to the local shopping mall, which is only 5 minutes walk from here, which was fine. And I'm wandering around, and I went to this shop, and I bought many, many things with Robbie's American Express. Thanks, Rob. And guess what? You know, anybody who knows me well knows that I have one colour in my wardrobe, and that is black.
Yes.
I don't wear anything but black. And today I bought not 1, not 2, but 3 things that are blue.
Whoa! But actually, are they navy blue?
That no, there's like electric glue, and there's one that's just lovely. I'll send you a photo, but I look like an actual grown-up, serious, take myself seriously person. I look like I'm actually trying, and I and I probably am. But I did go to that. But just to top it off and make me still me, I did go to the hairdresser today and have a very cool haircut and some very, very electric purple dye.
Now I'm jealous.
Why?
I can't go to a hair salon here.
Oh, you can't. You know what? It's funny. Canberra's a funny old place. It's like we haven't had a case since June or something, and you just wouldn't know what's happening. And there's still like hand sanitizer everywhere and QR stuff they want you to do everywhere, but you just wouldn't even know what's happening. It's not even a thing.
Do you have to wear masks when you go into shops and things?
No.
You do in Sydney now. It's all going backwards.
I just got sick of Melbourne. I wore them in Melbourne for like 8 months, and
you had to.
Enough. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just intrigued. What intrigues me about this whole thing in this particular country is that it's going around in circles, because here in Bondi, in Sydney, you were able to, all through the 9 months, you could go into shops without a mask. Now, I tried to go to the local shop downstairs. I live over a shop, and I said, "Get out! You don't have a mask." And I said, "I'm so sorry, because I believe in wearing masks." So I have a mask. So I run upstairs, get my mask, and go back down. And then a guy comes into the shop, and I put this on social media. And this is an interesting and serious point. A guy comes into the shop while I'm in the shop, and she says, "You have to wear a mask by law in the state of New South Wales." And he said 2 expletive words to her, which were really expletive.
What's the point of that? That's just terrible to do that.
I just feel for these people working in these situations,
Well, in the UK, guys, they've just changed the rules, and people now have to wear face masks going into shops. And I was appalled at one idiot who was, arguing the toss about wearing a face mask. Eventually, the police were deployed, and he said, "It's a communist state." No, it's not, you idiot. It's called saving people's lives.
That's right.
Also, it's in the media. Watch the television. Listen to the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
listen to your
I'm coming on to the BBC in a minute. A couple of quick messages. Close to 2 million deaths worldwide now. Yeah, I know, it's terrible. Keith. Oh, here we go. One from Keith. My Chinese neighbour booked a dental appointment. I asked him the time, and he said, 2:30.
That's
racist.
That's cultural inappropriation.
It's a racist.
Uncle Keith, I got to tell you, a few years back, when I was having appointments for the bottom wisdom teeth to come out in the surgery, my dental appointment was at 2:30, and they wrote it on a card, and I have it to this day. It's on my fridge.
Actually, my dentist is from China. So there you go.
Actually, Steve's just raised a very interesting point. I need people to wear clear masks. Most of my remaining vision is at the bottom, and masks block the ability to lip read. And
of course.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Very true. Very true indeed. Which is
Dave's leaving and joining and leaving and joining.
Yeah, I know.
Wish he'd make up his melon.
The other thing about wearing these masks, I've discovered, is that I wear glasses, and I find it really difficult because the glasses fog up.
You wear the wrong ones.
About that.
I tell you, Henry, top tip.
Surgical masks.
What?
That's what I was going to say. Surgical mask, the one with the kind of metal bar across your nose, which is
incorrect. Bad information. Listen to Auntie Rach. Auntie Rach knows about that.
Okay.
Rach, go for it.
Hang on, hold on a minute, Rach. I'm going to do this just for you. Nobody else. That hurts.
Okay, so with the surgical mask, it's got the plastic, the ones we get in Australia. It's got a plastic sort of wire at the top,
Yeah, that's what I'm on about.
Turn it upside down.
Hold on, I smacked myself for nothing. That's where I was going.
Well, let me go there first, because I am really smart, and although I have no wisdom teeth, I'm full of wisdom. I turn it upside down, and then you have to get your glasses, Henry, and sort of poke it underneath your glasses, sort of jam your glasses down on top of it.
Yep.
And it won't fall.
Yeah, but hang on. I put it on the right way. Sorry, I put it on upside down, as you suggest. And Caroline said, no, it's the wrong way. And she said the metal part has to be on the top.
Yes.
Well, not when you've got glasses, it doesn't, because it fogs up.
No, don't know, Rach, it doesn't.
Oh, no.
Here we go. We're going to argue now.
Won't have to wear it anymore, so I don't care.
And I have to say, it wasn't me. The smart person was Martina. She said, look, stop worrying about this. I'll fix it. So I thought, okay. And she comes in with this mask. She says, try that one. Ah, it's wonderful. You put it on. It's a proper approved standard for a hospital. And it's got this, I'm trying to think how to describe it now. It's very, very, very difficult. It's not a wire. It's like a piece. You know them things you put over your nose to stop you snoring? One of them thick things. Yeah, it's got a piece. It's got a piece on it like that. You put it on your nose. You then put your glasses on, and it doesn't fog up at all.
There's
Brilliant.
Also, if you go to the chemist, which I love so much.
Yes.
If you go to the chemist, you can get those. The wipes that you have to clean your lenses on your glasses.
Mm-hmm.
They've got new ones that have a anti-fog element to them.
Yeah, absolutely. But seriously, it is a common problem with us wearing glasses. And it's my fault I wear glasses. I was too vain not to wear them when I was younger. But if you get the right fitting mask, get it fitted to your nose, put the glasses on over the top, you don't get the fogging. I promise you. You just got to have a little bit of practice, and away you go. Apparently, Trina's got a baby Yoda mask.
Oh, I want. Take my money.
True. I've got to say thank you to Jerry as well, 'cause I just remembered this. It was before Christmas. We had the lovely Jerry on, who is from... She's the lady that's been driving the Czechoslovak World War II Veterans Association.
She's lovely.
She is. She's just lovely. And she does so much work, all of which isn't paid for. She has to have a job, and she carries on with a job, and she keeps this thing going, and she's building it and building it and building it. And she wants to build it to a point where she can employ people to go out to the schools to explain what happened with the books that the vets actually wrote themselves, to say to people, look, it wasn't, and she's not being nasty when she says it, it wasn't just the UK that were fighting at the time. It was people from all over the world, including the Czechoslovak army, the Polish Air Force is another prime example. And what happened was, our Jan was, of course, born in what was then Czechoslovakia. And it's his birthday on the 23rd. So I thought, and I looked, and Jerry sent me a note saying, oh, we've got these new ties in. What do you think, Eric? I said, I'll have one. She went, what? I said, I'll have one. Rach, I'm going to cut across my own story now. Trina says, Rachel, inbox me with your address, and I'll try and sort one out for you.
Okay, cool.
There you go. Isn't this wonderful across the world? Is Dave still having techno breakdowns, says Mitchell? Yes. Yes. So, Eric, you had a bad habit when you were younger. No, that's in the singular, Trevor. I had multiples, so it would have been bad habits. So anyway, the thank you to Jerry continues in that she delivered, because the post is all rubbish everywhere, she sent the tie and the pin out to Jan early with a note in it to say that it was from Martina and I for his birthday. And then went on to wax lyrically about how wonderful RTO is and how it helped the association get a good kickstart. So, Jerry, thank you very much. That's really nice.
Anybody can. Jerry can.
What, is that oil or petrol?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, Steve. It is hard. What do you get for somebody like Jan for his birthday? You don't know.
A statue of Jan.
Yeah, statue of Jan. It's impossible. It's so difficult. It's so difficult. I think one of the things he loved so much was I spoke to Peter at Radio Caroline one time and had this laminated thing made up, which was an invitation for he and his son to have a VIP tour around the MV Ross Revenge, the Radio Caroline ship. He was over the moon because you can't buy one.
But if you haven't got the facilities to do that, though, just send him a card. He'll be over
Yeah,
the moon.
I mean,
He's a very excitable
honestly, for Jan, if somebody, I remember watching him in Aqua City one day, and this little girl, she had a few problems, or her mum had a few problems, and Jan helped out. And this little girl, and I mean, it's quite horrific when you think about it, she'd made an angel out of a piece of wood. Now, it is softwood, it has to be said, but she'd carved, she's only about 8 or 9, she'd carved an angel with a knife out of a piece of wood. Because angels are things you give to people here as a thank you, to look after them, look after you in the future. And this little kid had actually carved an angel herself to say thank you to Jan. His eyes were full of water.
That's such a beautiful thing. And by the way, welcome, Dave, to the show.
Oh!
Anybody want to
Good on
buy
you,
a
Dave.
studio? Just want to smash the pieces now.
Where you been?
David,
Hello.
what did you break?
Well, I went to try and connect to Skype, and my PC wouldn't connect to Skype. So I thought, I'll reboot it. And so I rebooted it, and when it came back up, it said, getting Windows ready. I'll move the story on by about another 45 minutes, when it eventually then pops up and says, installing updates, 6%.
Oh,
Get an
Oh.
apple.
Oh, dear.
So I've tried to connect it up to different bits of kit because my desk needed to go through, and I've completely destroyed everything. I'm just
Happy to
sitting
do
in the
that.
middle of a pile of wreckage.
Happy to do that.
So I
wouldn't do
can't
that,
read
Dave.
anything, so I'm just going to sit here.
Right, we'll let you carry on. Hello to K-Dog. K-Dog,
K-Dog.
who's just invited 233 fans to this programme. Very kind of you. And he says, hi. 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 Hi, hi, hi. Hi, hi, hi. Steve would love to go on the tour, but he can't because he's not allowed to because of the other disabilities. I know, mate. I know the problem. Know the problem. But returning to the other subject, Jan prefers things you cannot buy in the normal sense of the word, i.e., a birthday card handwritten means more to him than one of these sort of printed cards, if you know what I mean, because they mean something. Letters,
And it shows thought.
yeah, bit of thought, bit of thinking about the person. That's the thing
But
that's.
a wooden angel, I mean, carving a wooden angel, no, why wouldn't you?
It's just marvellous. It's just phenomenal. I mean, he's actually put it up in the office reception in Aqua City. He's got it on the wall. He's so proud of it. And he got the people to come round and fit it straight away. I've got to do this because this got my goat this week. This really did. We all know what Dave will be doing this weekend. No, he'll be getting his mate Mark round to help him.
Chasing goats.
No,
No, I've got to rewire the audio part, so that's all knackered as well. So.
Did a goat eat it?
Dave.
I might be better off having it.
Ask Henry if it's got dental issues.
Steve says birthday cards are bad for the planet. No, you can.
Dave,
What?
that statement was bad for the planet and my heart.
Yes, because you can now get recycled paper birthday cards.
And they're about love, love, love.
Love. All you need is love. Dun, 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 dun.
Ba, 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 ba.
Thank you. No, Dave will get his mate Mark round to help him because he can't do it. Which colour is that wire? I don't know. We'll just try it in that hole then. The BBC...
Mark can't come round anyway. Nobody can come round.
Oh, no, of course you can't.
Anything can be fixed with YouTube.
So what's going to happen then is you will turn your Skype onto video. Mark will see what you're doing and go, no, not that one, Dave. And then you'll move to the other one.
It's like defusing a bomb.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that wire.
Yeah. Anyway, so this week a mate got hold of this story. He said, the end of the world's coming. What?
I thought it already did.
Yeah, so I said, what? He said, have you not seen the BBC? So I said, no. What are you talking about? He said, the BBC, it's on the BBC website. Thousands of jobs are going to die because of COVID. What? I then read the story. This was a campaign.
I apologise for the noise in Bondi. There's buses and people going nuts at 11.
Yeah, 11 o'clock at night. It was the Federation of Small Businesses campaigning to get grants given to self-employed people, which is fine. But the headline was all these people going to lose their jobs. It wasn't. It was a campaigning story. And you know what? I looked it up just before I came in the studio. In the trades sector, there's nearly 100,000 vacancies in that sector. 100,000. And yet the BBC were freaking everybody out by going, these self-employed people, like plumbers, electricians, are all going broke. BBC,
It's silly.
that is just bad journalism. So,
Why are we surprised?
no, it's true.
Can I just mention a quick story about this whole BBC thing? Back in the 80s, when AIDS was rife, when the USSR, as it was then, was threatening America and the rest of the world with nuclear war, I was in London, living in London, and I watched a BBC show which frightened the hell out of me even more than AIDS and the potential nuclear war. And this guy, and remember, this is 1988, he said, no war is going to kill this species, as in the human species, a virus will. I thought, whoa. And that was back in 1988. So I'm not saying it's going to kill us all, but that was a very interesting documentary by the BBC, I must say.
I think they asked...
That was the last time they had an interesting documentary.
Oh, blimey, look at the time. Flipping it.
What?
It's that time already. Axel's got to go to work.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your hands when you get there, mate. You have a great day at work, and tell them Eric says you can have an hour off to go home early. Henry and Rachel and Dave would agree with that, wouldn't you guys?
Yeah, I agree
Yep.
with that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we took a vote, Axel. Tell the boss we took a vote, and everybody's in agreement. You can go home an hour early with double pay for today. I think that'll be
Yeah,
all right.
and forever, because, you're in a terrible state over there.
Yes, this is true. Trina says the government in the UK is advertising for census officers for the start of the census count in March, April. It's not going to happen.
Well, because everyone was at home. Count over.
Yeah, finito. I was in England actually when they did the last one. I was so incensed, and I managed to wreck the census.
Why were you incensed?
Well, because
Incensed by the census.
well, the thing is, I consider myself to be an indigenous UK person. I'm not ethnic. And I was never an
full Anglo-Saxon.
well, whatever, but I was indigenous to England. I wasn't an ethnic person to England because it doesn't make any sense. So I phoned up the census people and said, there isn't one for me. So she says, where do you come from? I said, from Bedfordshire. She said, oh, you're indigenous. You're what was it?
English.
No, it was ethnic white. I said, how can I be ethnic white? So I'm not ethnic. Now,
Is
I'm
it ethnic or ethnicity?
Yeah. No, ethnic. Ethnic. So I've gone. Now, I would be ethnic in Slovakia because I'm not indigenous to Slovakia. But no, she wouldn't have it. So I said, right,
But
okay.
you swore at her in Italian.
Yeah. So I said,
When did this happen?
it was, 20 years ago.
Right. Okay.
So, anyway, I said, so are you telling me that it'll be where the people are on that day that they have to fill in the form? So she said, yes. I said, brilliant. Do you want to send me a couple of thousand forms? So she said, what? You can't get 2,000 forms in your house, sir. That's ridiculous. I said, no, we'll have the whole area floating through here and we'll plan it all out. We'll have a census party and people can come throughout the day, fill in the form and we'll put them in the postbox for you, no problem. She said, but it'll be incorrect. I said, yes, because your whole form is flawed anyway. And she wouldn't have it. But they did send 2 boxes of census forms, which I...
What did you do with them?
I promptly used them for lighting bonfires at the bottom of the garden.
I was going to say,
angels.
at your party with all those people, you'd have a barbecue, stick the forms on the fire.
Yeah, just twist them up hard. That'll do for barbecuing.
Oh,
No
Uncle
problem.
Eric, was it a bit like, did it turn into a Guy Fawkes day?
Oh,
Boom,
Right.
boom.
you are so on the ball tonight.
I don't know how, I'm half asleep.
Trina says the census is quite handy for family tree tracing. I agree, Trina, but I'm never ethnic if I'm in England. I'm sorry, it's just the way I think. I'm indigenous to the UK. I'm ethnic in Slovakia. Anglo-Slovak, you're ethnic. Yes, true. Thank you, Mitchell. Why do you need a census when Mr. Zuckerberg does it every day, says Steve. Quite right. Save all the money. Don't worry about it. Don't worry
He's got
about a
all
thing.
the info.
David,
Hello?
are you calm now?
No.
What is wrong with you?
Well, everything's gone wrong.
Well,
Studio's broken.
Yes.
Car battery's flat. There's mould growing on the seats of my car and on the front drive.
What?
don't worry, leave it a bit and you'll get mushrooms. That would be really
Can I
weird.
give you a top tip?
Go on then, top tip
And
away.
you can buy this online and get it delivered.
Yeah,
And we used one of these, no electricity use, when we first moved into the house, 'cause it was very damp because it's a new building. And you can buy a thing, it's about, in fact, it's not dissimilar to a shredder size device, which I know you know those. And this shredder thing, it's plastic at the top, plastic at the bottom. You split it open, there's a filter thing in the top, and it sucks all the water out of the local area. So if you
It's a
shut up...
dehumidifier.
No, yeah, it is a humidifier.
it basically
It's a
does the same thing.
dehumidifier.
No, it's a dehumidifier.
Oh, did I say? Oh, sorry, I said it wrong. Beg your pardon. Dehumidifier. And we put one in our house and we were emptying it every day, 5 litres every day,
Wow.
because it was such a new building. And unfortunately, they'd made it watertight. Then we had the winter, so they couldn't do anything. And they started again to do what's called the final fits, where they put the bathrooms and, well, the shower room in our case, da-di-da-di-da-di. But of course, by then the walls have all got damp because it's cold.
But why, if it was a new building, wouldn't they have the technology to have built that properly?
I mean, it's built properly, but because there was no heating, even they got the outside, the windows in, doors in, roof on. It was a completely watertight building. But
Right.
you get condensation and dampness, blah, 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 because there's no heating. That sucks itself into the wall. And this thing was actually churning out 5 litres of water a day, this dehumidifier. Now, if you put one of those in your car, Dave, it stops your seats going mouldy.
You need a really long extension cord.
But Dave, you...
No, there's no electric, Rach.
Oh, mine was.
Ah, okay.
Dave, you've got a car,
Yes,
but you can't go anywhere. Is that right?
that's correct.
Turn it into a garden.
Turn it into garden. Well, it's going
That's
that
what
way.
I said grow mushrooms, and then
Yes.
either, depending on how the mushrooms go, you'll either have a lovely meal or a really good time.
Well, I
Depends on the
wondered whether I
mushroom.
was breeding my own coronavirus out there. Entirely honest. I was quite concerned. I thought, health hazard.
Excuse me.
Thank you, Steve Mann. Trina was talking about tracing family trees, and he says, I bet that didn't go back to when Eric was born. Thank you.
That's just rude.
That's rude.
Below the belt.
That was.
Wow.
How the heck do you say this? Miriam? Could be Miriam. Oh, yes! I've just been told off by our UK producer.
Oh, who's that then?
That's Paul.
Oh, hello, Paul.
Paul, this is just for you, mate.
Your hands, it just takes 20 seconds. Wash your hands, your hands. It's for your own protection. No exceptions, no objections. You'll make such a nice impression. No infection if you only wash your hands. And you're done.
Rach,
Yeah.
there's a problem with you singing. It's called digital delay.
Oh, well, it's still gorgeous. I don't know what your problem is.
You'll have to play it from your end, and then you'll
Oh.
sing in tune with it.
Oh.
Because
well,
when you sing, it's about 5 seconds later than the tune.
do you know what? It's nearly midnight. I don't care.
I
It
agree.
gives an echo effect as well. So you
In
know,
fact, I've got a new song.
What?
It goes something like this. I don't care. I don't care.
Oh, I love it. Apparently, Mitchell traced his family back to 1890. They were from Riga. Riga? Do you mean Riga or Rega? And Vladivostok.
Got some nice trams in Riga.
Oh, don't. Right, just don't. Don't even go there.
hey, Dave,
Hello.
you'd be having none of these troubles if you had Apple.
Can I also have a whinge about the length of a cord on a car battery charger? Why would you put a lead that's only a metre long on a battery charger for a car?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah.
That's just
It's,
stupid.
you know,
isn't it?
you know what, Dave, that's right up there with you buy USB devices. Like I bought an external hard drive recently, and the lead is like I have to have it right next to the computer.
I know.
It's so short.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's like 3 inches or something. It's really stupid.
Yeah, I agree totally. Steve says, has Axel finished the remix of the track yet? I don't know because he's gone to work, mate. We should have asked him earlier. But Mitchell, I really do think you mean Riga, where I think Dave really got into my MacGyver work.
Oh God, yes.
So
And
good.
now,
So
are you
good.
ready?
Thanks to the lovely people who move your baggage at the local airport.
No. I'm thinking of the. What did we use?
Lash up.
No,
that we did at
was it a needle or a pin I used?
I can't remember. I think it was a needle out the sewing kit in the hotel room.
Yes.
Start your car. That's genius.
No. I managed to, because Dave had been filming all day, and the only cable he got with him was not the correct one for the television they had in the hotel, which had a SCART connector on, and he had something else. And so I then looked in the drawer, found a sewing kit, bent these pins to the right shape, stuck, I don't know what I stuck round it, something or other that we found, and I said, try now. And he turned it on, he went, it's working. Yeah, it will do. Oh, MacGyver time. Riga, as in Latvia, once Russia.
That's the one.
But it was never Russian. It was
No,
part...
he was going really, really slow.
Yeah, it was part of the USSR, which was the gross and communist thing that Russia once had, and once again now. Because Latvia was always Latvia. It was just the Russians took control of it, and they were evil. Absolutely evil people. But Riga we love.
Yes, we.
Riga we love. Yes, R.I. Mitchell's corrected himself now. We know Dave and I know Riga very, very well indeed. Not only that, we've played with what is now the state broadcaster transmitter site.
We did.
Yes.
It was a very cold day.
Yes, but they let us loose with a 500 kilowatt transmitter.
It was the only thing keeping us warm in the building.
It was freezing in there, wasn't it? Oh, blinking heck. Apple PCs are Apple PCs too dear. Cheaper to Apple from a shop. What? Ian, what are you?
Ian's gone off on one, I think.
I think he has. I think he's lost. Ian, you haven't lost the plot thing.
More expensive because they work.
No.
Yes.
Rachel, are you working
Miss Brunsden? Would you like to hazard a guess, which includes Apple, how many factories there are in the world that makes RAM?
RAM?
Mm-hmm.
As in...
Random access memory.
As in... Oh, I thought you meant the sheep.
No.
The stuff that makes everything work fast.
Or not.
I don't know. I wouldn't hazard a guess because that's just a boring question. What?
You see, you're fudging it now. There's actually about half a dozen.
I'm not. I don't know.
No, there's about half a dozen which supply both Macs, Apple, and Linux computers.
That's all they need because they're so ace at it.
Right, which means the same components are in PCs as are in Apples.
Yeah, but yours are ugly and mine are pretty.
When was the last time you saw the RAM in your PC, Rachel?
Do you know what? I'm an Aries, and the RAM is the sign of the Aries. So there you go.
Right.
That's about
okay.
as much as I know about RAM.
Yes.
Moving on.
Well, and hang on, I've got to get this right because yes, 100%. And you have on a laptop as opposed to a netbook, you have a CD-ROM drive, yeah?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No, well, some do, some don't.
Some do, some don't.
For
Yeah.
start, no one's using netbooks anymore.
Mhm.
And the second thing is that
or CD-ROMs.
my friend Adam, and our correspondent in Melbourne, bought a Mac, and he is mad about music.
Mhm.
And he's got 1,000 CDs. And he was absolutely appalled
Mhm.
that his Mac didn't come with a CD-ROM. He had to go get. He was really annoyed.
Yeah, I know.
He had to go get an external CD-ROM.
I don't have CDs because I have the iTunes.
True.
Well, they're kind of going, aren't they? Yeah.
Mitchell's talking about
Apple's the best.
Apple. Apple now make their own chips. That's the processor. They no longer use Intel. My Apple MacBook has the M1 chip made by Apple. You don't get any problems with Apple. Yes, you do.
No, you don't. Well, how would you know? You don't use them.
Rachel, can I remind you of the story we did in Australia? Where all the iPhones were dying.
Oh, was that the same time that the galaxy was blowing up in everyone's face? Yeah.
No.
Oh dear, there's a fight coming on at 2 minutes to 12.
Yeah, we're not going to go there with that one. If you like Apple and you're happy with Apple, fine. Don't have a problem with that. Just, it's your bank account. You want to spend your money how you want to. If you want to waste it, it's up to you.
But I'm not, because I've never had one single problem with any of my Apple devices, and I've been using them for 10 years.
Fine. I've got phones in here that are older than that, and they still work. But not Apple.
And your point is that things that are old can work?
Yes.
I don't want to have this fight with you, but what I'm going to tell you is the following. We're never going to agree on this. We're never going to agree. Never. No. We're never going to agree.
I know. Rachel, this is Trina talking. Rachel, my birthday's the 13th of April. When's yours?
Oh, 26th of March. 26th of March to all those.
You're on the cusp.
Oh, yeah. Only just in.
Only just there, aren't you?
Yeah, but... Anyway,
we've got to go. We can't even find out what we're going to do because Henry can't drink, Rachel can't go out, Dave can't go out. So all you've got time for is to say goodbye, people. One at a time. Rach first.
Goodbye, people.
Henry.
Goodbye from Sydney, Australia.
David.
Goodbye from what remains of my studio.
We'll see you all again very, very soon, boys and girls. Take care, everybody, and stay safe, please. Please stay safe.
The Station of the Stars. RTI.
The Steve Bishop Show is ready to depart. Stand clear of the doors.